Okay, so we're looking at, we've already warped over and selected 6 strings, and we get this. I just want a word of caution: the tripentatonic box banners here only pertain to the numbers on the left of each fret nut and the string shape letter on the first position there. This is position, the left position, middle position, right position here. So the G, C, D, because I didn't know what I was doing exactly when I made this chart. Okay, wait till you see how I had to fix it. So we've got G-shaped there, but the 2 is also G-shaped, and the 3 is also G-shaped. But that's not C and D. The G is, the first position is G-shaped. Okay, its 4th is C-shaped. Its 5th is D-shaped. Okay, so that gets a little complicated. So I've warped them all over for you, and I've got G, D, C, A, E. That's what we come out with. And then I did the minors. Oh my goodness. So the relative minor of G is E. Okay, the relative minor of I guess let's get them both on the screen. It's 1 pentatonic scale down, scale member down. So the relative minor of D is C. The relative minor shape, rather, of A is the relative minor G minor shape. Relative minor of the E shape is D minor. Relative minor of the C shape is A minor. So we did the minors, and that's what we came up with. Then I had an idea. Okay, well now I want to put these together and make for fretboards. So we don't have all this extra stuff over here, which is for the consideration of the long pattern. So we've got like long pattern in here somewhere. We've got like 5, 6, you know, and so this label is just for long. Stuff like that, 7. Anyway, that's not as important as I put it together and made the fretboards here. So and once I did that, I had to change this designation. So you see how in the G box here we got G, C, D. We'll go over to the G box here in the majors. Here's your G box. I know it's G because it's light red. Okay, so there's your C, there's your G, C, D, but that's only for the first one. The second number follows D, G, A, but that's D is the major root shape. And the third one follows C. C's over here. Remember, C is 3, 4, 5 right there. So that follows the third shape. That's how that works. And so what was important, what wasn't important. Let's go to the next chart. Okay, so this is the most recent chart. Alright, so this is chart 160. It's major, minor fretboards, but like I say, that's a generic term. Alright, so remember, it all started from the 10-string pattern stack. Alright, and the reason why there's 3 notes per note. 3 notes per note. Okay, so this is a fret. No, this is a fret, but an unwarped fret. So it's really a virtual fret, kind of a hyper fret. You know, it's not warped over yet. It's all P4 tuning. If you wanted to play this as it is, you'd have to tune your guitar so it goes, and then everything would be E-shaped. So let's look at how everything's E-shaped there. Or let's say everything would have the same shape. So it's let's look at this G shape. Root 3, 5, okay, and then up here root 3, 5 again, and you know that's not going to be true, because if you start with a G shaped root like that, root 3, 5, okay, then we go to the next octave of that root. All right, the third is going to be straight up because of the tuning warp. Okay, so that's different because we had warped up that top part. So where was our root? Here. Okay, and that's 3 strings, 4. So what we did in that case, we went 6 to 6. In that case, what we did was we brought this over. Okay. We went root 3, 5, but then root 3 came over, so I had to go straight up for that. All right, and then 5 was over here. 3 to 5, normally the root, there's 5, there's 6, so you know 5 was over there. Okay, so we have the 10-string pattern stacks here. Okay, and of course these are bringing out the tritone arpeggios. All right, and once this is all perfect fourth tuning now in the pattern stack. Once I warped all those things, and we got from the previous diagram, and we got our shapes. We got our G shape, our D shape, and our A shape with the. Now remember, like let's look at A here. Remember, we've got A shaped here in the first position here. Okay, if there was a fret nut there, and I've drawn it already, I've even drawn the fret nuts for us because these are open string deals here, but it's imaginary, so that could just be your finger because if you wanted to get to these notes. The 5 would become the E, let's say, if that was the hard fret nut. E is the 5th of A. Alright, so that's why this is 5 here in the A shape. Alright, but also A shaped, you have root. And you have the second, you have the root, the 4th, and the 5th right here. These guys right here. Root, 4th, and 5th. Everywhere you're going to see this. Root, 4, and 5. So it's... Okay, root, 4, 5. All 3 minor, major chords. So, where were we? What were we talking about? So, we've got our 3 A shapes on the fretboard. So, we've got our A-shaped C would start, let's see, key of C. So, we're going to start on the 5th of C. Here's C. My low C is down here. Here's the 5th of C. So the A-shaped C. Okay, but then we could start it on the root. If we're starting an A shape on the root, okay, it would be like okay, and then an A shape on the second would be so you've got those 3 exact same shapes. They're easier to realize in the pentatonic. They are the same in the pentatonic. In the diatonic, they're not exactly the same. Because the 4th is going to have the Lydian 4th. So the 1st is going to have the regular. The 5th is going to have a regular sounding 4th. But the 4th is going to have the Lydian 4th. But